Good day. This report was made by us based on the materials of geophysical and field studies of gas and gas condensate fields in Ukraine, Dnieper-Donets basin. On the example of the combined reuse of well logging and hydrodynamic data on wells, the reasons leading to the creation of large-size zones of contamination with drill and mud filtrate in permeable formations are shown. The process of drilling of oil and gas well inevitably causes the environmental contamination, including geological environment. In addition to creating a hole in the well bore in the permeable layers, a zone of invasion of the drilling fluid filtrate is formed. This filtrate is actually an aqueous solution of inorganic and organic compounds, significantly changing the geological environment around the well. The changes concern the porosity and permeability of reservoir rocks. This is a swelling of clay minerals in well space is clotted with solid particles and colloids. The main methods that allow to study the well outer space during and after drilling the well logging. Thanks to the data of electrologging, researchers have the opportunity to access and analyze the degree of filtration and the processes that occur during the formation of the invasion zone. Here, geophysical methods are used as a tool to determine the parameters of the filtrate invasion zone in field research and interpretation of reservoir test results, features of primary reservoir opening, planning, the volume of filtrate and the penetration into the formation can be divided into two components. The first stage of penetration is the rapid absorption of the filtrate by the formation. The second stage is the filtration of the washing liquid through the mud cake. However, even the inhibition of filtration into the formation by increasing the mud cake does not always contribute to the formation of small penetration zone. If we don't take into account the influence of mud cake, then the first approximation, the depth of penetration zone, can be calculated by the following equation. Under normal conditions, for example, the calculated value of penetration of the filtrate into the formation is equal to 1.25 meters. It's in the absence of the mud cake. Wellbore area consists from mud cake, logging zone, infiltration zone, and real natural layer. The length of these zones is different, and the thickness of the outer filter cake depends on the type of mud drilling fluid, from a half till 100 millimeters. Reservoir permeability is the depth of the filtrate penetration into the reservoir from several centimeters to a meter or more. Sometimes the diameter of the invasion zone reached 10 meters or more. This happens with very high fluid loss and permeability of the reservoir. Consider real examples of the absence of positive test results in comparison with the parameter of the layers and the invasion zone. In this slide, we see the results of the interpretation of electrical logging data for two permeable formation. The broken line gives us the values of the resistivity and the diameter of the invasion zone of penetration during fluid filtrate. Anomalous zones diameter equal to 2.2 meters and 3.7 meters respectively. In this slide, we see the example of the well number 14 Yablunivske oil and gas condensate field. In the first interval of perforation, after 3 times aeration of salt water, the inflow in the well was not obtained. The authors of the first report of the petroleum reserves calculation of Yablunivske field Note that the choke was used as a weight addition during drilling. As a result, a large invasion zone with significantly deteriorated filtration properties was probably formed. According to our calculations, the absolute value of invasion zone diameter is equal to 3.77 meters. Slide. Layers were also tested above the section of this well. In the second interval of perforation, the formation began to act with a good gas flow rate. According to our calculations, the absolute value of diameter of the invasion zone 1.5 meters. In the third interval of perforation, gas immediately obtained after the testing. The absolute value of invasion zone diameter 1.1 meter. The given example of test results testifies to the importance of taking into account the size of the filtrate invasion zone with appropriate methods, including reperforation. The tendency is clearly visible. Where is the mud cake, the diameter of the well is less than the diameter of the bit. As a rule, the actual value of the diameter of the invasion zone is smaller than calculated without taking into account the effect of reducing the filtration through the mud cake. In the lower part of the section, where the largest values of the diameter of the invasion zone are observed, there is no mud cake at all. As a result, there are large areas of filtrate penetration and negative results during the testing of formation. Another example, Kolomatske gas field. The result of interpretation and test data of layers and perforation intervals of Kolomatske well number 31. During the testing of formation in the first section interval, inflow was not resolved. According to the well logging data, all layers of sandstone in this interval are productive. The values of diameter of the invasion zone in the reservoirs vary from 1.3 to 2.2 meters. There is almost no mud cake. The diameter of the well is larger than the diameter of the bit opposite the reservoirs. Above in section, according to results of a joint test of two perforated intervals, received a conditional gas flow. Here the values of the diameter of the invasion zone are generally at a minimum level of 0.4 meters. In the upper intervals, where a significant gas flow is obtained, there is a mud cake everywhere. These results correspond to the positive values of filter penetration in the absence of mud cake. As you can see in the table, only the average values of the diameter of the well, here caliper, the intervals of the section have significant differences. Here the value of the t-test student is significantly greater than the limit value of 1.99. There is the absence of mud cake, increasing the diameter of the well, led to the formation of a large invasion zone in the sandstone interval with negative test results. The main conclusion. It is proved that the presence of mud cake along the entire thickness of the productive layer significantly affects the formation of small zones of penetration of the filtrate and contributes to obtain reliable test results within the perforation interval. If the mud cake is only partially formed within the formation crossing by the well, then there is a high probability that the filtrate penetration can occur not only in the radial but also in the vertical directions in the formation, which can cause large diameter of the invasion zone. Thank you for attention.